Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp, and you know what? I actually don't remember at all if I set up a needle drop for this show. So let's find out. Needle drop. Let's see.
Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend.
Apparently, I did set up a needle drop. Nice. Obviously, I remember it now, but I wasn't sure at first. In case you guys missed it, in case anyone missed it, yesterday I started recording a cover of All Star from Smash Mouth in honor of Steve Harwell, who passed away earlier this week of liver failure. Poor guy. I haven't quite been able to figure out how to do the vocals on it because, well, I'm not a singer. Mostly because of that. So here's what I'm thinking. First of all, here's the with my terrible vocals on it. Here we go. Just to give you an idea. Though it would probably be better if I put the sound on first. So let's do that. There we go. Okay. Let's try that again.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking...
Yeah, see, I'm just not a singer, but... if anyone out there is a singer, there is the instrumental, which I think is pretty stellar. I think it's pretty on point. So if anyone wants to collab on this this all-star Smash Mouth, I did do the whole thing, but man, I couldn't figure out how to do my vocals, so it's just kind of a goofy thing the whole time.
Brain gets smart, but the head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get the game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid, and all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Hey.
Yeah, so I'm not a singer, man. That much is obvious. But if you are, I will gladly send you the instrumental. And in that vein, I'm uploading all the AI Music Monday tracks with instrumental as well. So if anyone wants to throw their vocals on it, I'm a god-awful singer. But I do have some fun tracks, you know? Like this one, the Single Action Army, that's just an actual, just a chorus of banjos. And yeah, the lyrics are present. And of course, there's the track of me singing it too, so. Down in Dixie, quite a tale you'll find. A pistol story with a timeless bind. The Single Action Army. Yeah, I've just never been a singer, man. I wish I could. I've gotten better when I was doing it all the time, but I don't do it at all anymore, so I suck at it again. When I was traveling more and doing vocals, for hours every single day, I did get better at it, but I don't do that anymore. Okay. Let's put the music back on. Here we go. Swamp Imprint with an amazing story from everyone's favorite news outlet, MSNBC. Okay. MSNBC, always a good time. Tricky legal question at the center of the Trump mugshot cash grab. Theoretically, the millions he is making off that photo may belong to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. No. Actually, no, it does not. Already, right off the bat, not looking great for MSNBC. Donald Trump surrendered to authorities in Georgia last week and had his mugshot taken by the Fulton County Sheriff. He wasted no time in turning that photo into a massive moneymaker. You name it, the Trump campaign slapped his mugshot on it. A $34 mugshot t-shirt, a Never Surrender coffee mug for $25, beverage coolers at $15 for a pair, and much, much more. And the only people who didn't see this coming, apparently, were the people who really wanted to see him arrested. And I can't help but wonder, if they're claiming that Trump may have to give all this money to the Fulton County sheriffs, whatever, does that mean the leftists who also have been printing his mugshot onto merch and selling it, do they need to give up all their money too, or is this just for Donald Trump? Let's find out. Well, there has been no official report on how much the sale of these items has brought in. Politico reported last week that the campaign had raised north of $7 million since the mugshot's release, powered by the sales of merchandise bearing Trump's scowling mugshot. This is kind of unrelated, but it kind of related. If you see, there's a link. Trump's scowling mugshot is a link. And what does that link take you to? Trump's mugshot will turn off independence. First of all, what that has to do with the link in question, Trump's scowling mugshot, I'm not sure. But turn off independence? I'm just not seeing that. I mean, I would think independents would see a Trump mugshot. Obviously, there's some who it would turn off, but to act as if it could be a majority seems a little unrealistic to me. But as various legal experts have noted, Trump's sale of that mugshot taken by the Fulton County Sheriff may violate U.S. copyright laws. This could mean that theoretically the millions he is taking off that photo may rightfully belong to the Fulton County Sheriff, an entity that just happens to be in desperate need of funds to address the horrific conditions in the Fulton County Jail. As a general principle, the owner of a photo's copyright is the person or entity who takes that photo, not its subject. In federal criminal cases, the U.S. government is not permitted to own the copyright to booking photos, so they are considered in the public domain. However, this is generally not the case with mugshots taken in state or local criminal proceedings. And what they mean by, however, this is generally not the case, by what they mean by that is it's always been the case every other time ever in the history of mugshots since we started taking mugshots up until this moment. Someone needs to let the Johnny Cash estate know that they have to stop selling shirts with Johnny Cash's mugshot on it. I have a vest that has Johnny Cash's mugshot on the back. I didn't know I was stealing money out of the hands of the jurisdiction that took said mugshot. Whatever. Betsy Rosenblatt, a professor at Case Western Reserve University School of Law, recently explained to Spectrum News 1 Ohio. I don't like the way that made me. There's the link, and then I made it weird. Explained to Spectrum News 1 Ohio that the copyright owner of Trump's mugshot is likely the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Other legal experts support that interpretation, including a 2022 article in the University of Georgia School of Law's Journal of Intellectual Property Law that noted, in the context of photographs taken by law enforcement during the booking process, the author of the mugshot photograph is the law enforcement agency. So here's the deal, in case you can't read between these very obvious lines. For some reason, they didn't expect that Trump was going to raise a bunch of money with this mugshot. And this is proven by tons and tons of news reports saying that this is going to ruin Trump. This will be so embarrassing. He's going to have a mugshot. What is his base going to say now? And then every sane person was like, dude, he's going to make millions of dollars off of this. Are you crazy? So, no, actually, the Fulton County Sheriff's Department does not have legal rights to the money raised from Trump's mugshot. I can't even believe that this is where we are, where we have to even... So many things to say about this. But really, all we need to say is, you get what you effing deserve. All right. You know, there's a lot of great legal experts, man, that are out there. They got the experts on the case. Trump doesn't get any of that money. The experts are there, man. The experts. We got them. All right, before we jump into the theme for today's show, which I will explain momentarily, I wanted to show you guys this. Midas Touch posted this, which is, I've made videos making fun of them before. They did that god-awful Taylor Swift cover about voting that I did my own parody of the song. If you remember that. I can't even remember what the hell it was called. I didn't even know it was a Taylor Swift parody until well after I'd already done the song. But they posted this saying, this is one incredibly powerful new ad from the Biden campaign. Now, I'm skeptical. Incredibly powerful new ad from the Biden campaign. So before I even watched this, I had a few assumptions, and they all turned out to be correct because I'm not a brain-dead moron. 1, they will have Biden talk as little as possible. And if he does talk, it'll be something pre-recorded from around the time he was inaugurated. Nothing more recent than that. Because they can't have the dude talk. It's just impossible. Secondly, they will show very little footage of the man. Because he can barely take 10 steps without tripping over the ghost of Aunt Gertrude or something. No one's really sure. And third, it would have something to do with Ukraine. And I'm happy to report that I was correct about every single one of those things. So, without further ado, here is the powerful new ad, according to Midas Touch, for Joe Biden. You let me know if you think this is powerful. I'm not quite buying it, but we'll see.
It was the first time in modern history
Very significant moment on the world stage.
that an American president went into a war zone not controlled by the United States.
A nearly 40-hour journey in and out of Ukraine.
President Biden left Washington, D.C. at 4 a.m. on Sunday. He landed in eastern Poland and then took a 9.5-hour train to Kyiv.
He entered Ukraine under the cover of night. And in the morning, Joe Biden walked shoulder to shoulder with our allies in the war-torn streets, standing up for democracy in a place where a tyrant is waging war to take it away.
Air raid sirens blared as the two men walked together.
In the middle of a war zone, Joe Biden showed the world what America is made of.
Wait a minute.
That's-
Wait a minute. I I didn't notice this the first time I watched this. Did they include the clip where you can see Zelensky's body double in the background? Is that... Because that's the same clip. Did they cut it before you could see Zelensky's body double? Where is it? Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, let me turn down the mic. It keeps clipping on me. Yeah, that was definitely an accident. They did not mean to have Zelensky's body double in the back. I wonder how much they actually play, because in the actual clip, you can see him walk out to where he is and then kind of look around and go, oh crap, and then walk back through that doorway and get out of the shot.
Joe Biden showed...
No, they didn't play that part of it. They're trying to play it off that it was totally normal, on the up and up, not a big deal.
to take it away.
Air raid sirens blared as the two men walked together.
In the middle of a war zone, Joe Biden showed the world what America is made of. That's the quiet strength of a true leader who doesn't back down to a dictator. Biden, president.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Okay. I don't even know that I need to say much about this because every single claim made in this was debunked shortly after it came out. That because they were trying. I remember when this trip happened, as I'm sure most of you do, where the media was trying to say, "Look how brave he is," and all this stuff, and no president's ever done anything like this ever, and all this crap. All nonsense. It was all completely fake, and fake in the sense that they were mischaracterizing it. That this was some brave act, and it was completely. They're trying to. He went into war-torn Ukraine, and there was air raid sirens were going off, and blah blah blah. They set all that stuff up. It was all propaganda. There was no danger. It was well documented. Everything was fine. And you remember that they were trying to say that this proves how energetic and youthful Joe Biden still is. And you said, what? How does it prove that? And they go, he was on a train and an airplane and a bus and a car. Okay. I mean, only a man with extreme stamina could sit for 19 hours straight. Oh, classic. All right. Now on to today's theme, which I am labeling... which I'm skipping to stream being over, apparently on accident. Which I am labeling unrelated news. And to explain what's about to happen here, I'll show this quick little thing here. So, let me full screen that for you. There we go. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state and the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is from Liberty Safe, posted in 2020. And now, In completely unrelated news, Liberty Safe. On August 30th, 2023, Liberty Safe was contacted by the FBI requesting the access code to the safe of an individual for whom they had a warrant to search their property. Our company protocol is to provide access codes to law enforcement if a warrant grants them access to a property. After receiving the request, we received proof of the valid warrant, and only then did we provide them with an access code. Liberty Safe had no knowledge of any of the details surrounding the investigation at the time. You see where I'm going with this? Completely unrelated. And if you don't get where I'm going with this, I'm sorry. Then you're going to be wildly lost throughout the rest of the show. All right. Up first, an elementary school in California transitioned a girl and hid it from her mother. These people are evil perverts. That's actually written here on this tweet, though I would have to agree. So here is a mother talking about a school transitioning her child without her knowledge. So let's watch this real quick.
Hi, for those that don't know me, my name is Aurora Regino, and I am the mother that filed the lawsuit in federal court against Chico Unified for transitioning my daughter without my knowledge. I'm here today to tell my story so parents and the public know what is going on in our schools. Last year, my 11-year-old daughter was in elementary school here at Chico Unified, and her elementary school transitioned her from female to male behind my back. Shortly before this happened, my father had recently passed away, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My daughter was distressed and began questioning her sexuality, so she decided to reach out to a wellness counselor at her elementary school. The day my daughter shared with her guidance counselor that she felt like a boy, the counselor immediately affirmed this new identity. From then on, the counselor continued to have one-on-one meetings with my daughter without my knowledge. During one of those one-on-one meetings, my daughter told the counselor she wanted to tell
as we finish this clip, look at this woman sitting on the right with the rainbow thing on her shirt. I mean, of course, there's an absolute I don't even know what you would call it, a mass gathering of insane people behind this woman. But this woman in particular on the right, it seems like she even knows that this woman is correct about everything that she's saying. That this is not right. You can't do this to a child and hide it from the parents. I mean, look how much she's squirming through this whole thing and kind of looking around and making faces where you know that she's going to stand up here in just 2 minutes and say, everything that woman said is stupid. We need affirmation. Protect the kids from the parents, blah, 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 blah. She's going to say all the lines. But look at her. I think she knows deep down that this is not cool. This is not cool.
One-on-one meetings, my daughter told the counselor she wanted to tell me about her new identity. The counselor ignored her requests and did nothing to support her in letting me know what was going on at school. Throughout her transition, my daughter changed very quickly, was bullied, and as a result was very unhappy. And because her school kept this transition a secret from me, she was on her own. I'm a busy working mother just like the rest of you. Before this happened to our family, I would have not believed this was going on in our schools, especially at the elementary level. I want everyone to know I want everyone to understand that I want a space for our LGBTQ and trans community members to feel safe and supported. But the policy currently in place at Chico Unified has been damaging to our family. And I am not up here talking about what could happen if you continue this policy. I am up here telling you what did happen to our family.
Okay.
Hi, for those that don't...
Oop. You already had your time, lady. It's my turn now. It's my turn now. So, what we are told from people who think that this woman's totally nuts and she shouldn't be freaking out is it's better for her daughter this way, that they helped to facilitate a transition presumably from female to male, and this is all good because, you know, it's what's best for the child. And that, you know, being trans in general is totally fine. And if you were against it, you're a bigot. It's not a mental illness. It's not a problem. Quit being so close-minded, you Nazi bigot. In unrelated news, totally mentally stable trans woman explains that, in fact, Eve of the Bible was the first trans woman. Or at least as soon as Twitter loads the video. Is it because I call it Twitter, Elon? Is that why you're not letting this work?
Eve, the very first woman, as per the Bible, was made of Adam's rib bone. And because of this, Eve, if we're gonna take it as literally as y'all like to, Eve would have had male DNA. So quite literally, if you were to have taken her DNA and looked at her chromosomes, which is another point randomly you guys like to make, it's like you believe in Adam and Eve, yet at the same time you like to quote science when you're attacking us. But anyways, if you were to look at the chromosomes of Eve, she would have Adam's chromosomes. So, which is it? Are you gonna...
Oh, God, the video's not even over yet. So, obviously, a parent should have no problem with schools forcing this onto their children without their consent, because nothing says well-adjusted human being than this absolute ridiculous specimen. Whatever, I can't, you know, how do I say this tactfully? All that's coming to mind is everything that Matt Walsh said about Dylan Mulvaney. You're a human deep fake. I mean, it's uncanny. It's eerie. It's not healthy at all. But yeah, totally unrelated to the story about why parents may not want their children transitioned without their consent. In other news, Karine Jean-Pierre just recently stated, "We know that vaccines work," which is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
We know that these vaccines work, right? We know when people say up to date with their vaccine, that works. And so we know. All
right. So, obviously true. Everyone knows this is 100% correct. It is actually irrefutable. 100% agreed. In unrelated news, Whoopi Goldberg has tested positive for COVID-19 and is currently wearing a mask alone in her own bedroom while isolating because of her 87 shots and booster. Or no, because of COVID-19.
It's me and my mask, and I'm sort of confined to my room. I have COVID. I just have COVID. I'm still testing positive, apparently. I have to have a clear test before I can come back. So, I can't wait to get back and hang out. But until then, it's me and my mask, and I'm sort of confined to my room.
Now, of course, Whoopi is fully vaxxed, and as I said, has all 87 boosters. Totally unrelated news. And in further unrelated news, Jill Biden tested positive for COVID. Luckily, our main man Joe, he's doing fine. He's taken the whole thing very seriously with the absolute gravitas that it deserves. I mean, it's just This isn't a joke, you guys. This is very serious stuff. And don't forget, the vaccines work.
Hello, everybody. I'm explaining to the press. I've been tested again today. I'm clear across the board. But they keep telling me because this has to be 10 days or something, I got to keep wearing it. But don't tell them I didn't have it on when I walked in. All right?
No one knows whether to laugh or not because he wants us to take all this very seriously. He doesn't seem to. Doesn't even know why he needs the mask. Doesn't, 10 days or something. I'm not doing it. But yes, it's super, super serious. Please. Vaccines work and mandates will be returning shortly. What a world we live in. Moving on. For about the last decade, it has been very well documented. Articles from CNN, MSNBC, all the experts, New York Times, colleges, college papers, and journals have written about something called the Great Replacement Theory and how this is absolutely stupid, totally not happening. And what they're saying is crazy white supremacists are looking at the opening of the border and mass immigration and saying, well, clearly they're trying to subvert our elections and our population and our culture and our society by bringing in all these other people. Now, some tie this to white people. Some don't. Some just say it's American citizens. Either way, completely 100% debunked as white nationalist, far-right, neo-Nazi, Alex Jones loving, conspiracy theorists. Total BS, not real at all. Debunked, as I said, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times. In unrelated news, Chicago residents worry that migrants will eventually dilute the black vote. Interesting. Still unrelated, though. It's very, very unrelated.
Politically, having over 500 people in our community would completely wipe out any interest we have. Are you aware that there are immigrant advocates at state houses all over this country who are advocating for non-citizen voting in local elections? What if that happened here? That would change the mindset of what we as a black community need to thrive here in Chicago. That's a concern of ours. This is much bigger than the mayor of Chicago or Chicago Police Department. This is an effort to destroy our neighborhoods and silence our voices even further.
Brave, beautiful black man in Chicago righteously fights for his race and does not want the voice of the black community diluted by mass immigration that will change the demographics and culture of his community. Great Replacement Theory, totally debunked. Unrelated news. Black community being diluted by migrants. I don't know if you're picking up what I'm laying down here. And even more news. In 1944, the Nazis put out several different pieces of propaganda about concentration camps, depicting Jews and other undesirables swimming, going to concerts, playing soccer, or what do they call it? Football? What do the Nazis call it? I don't know. But the government had to create this propaganda. The people weren't going to do it for them. As the heat was coming down on the Germans said, we got to put out some footage here that shows that we're not totally nuts. Everything's fine. Everything's great. And as you can see here, one of said documentaries showing, hey, everything's great. Playing soccer, having a good time. They're not camps. They're more like spas, is what they were trying to convince everybody. Totally fine. Nothing bad happens here. In unrelated news, a man goes to Chicago and mocks the very idea that the city is dangerous. Interesting. Well, let me start it over, sorry. And again, I should probably turn the sound on.
Oh, hi. I'm a concerned parent in North Texas, here against my will in downtown Chicago. Obviously, I'm terrified for my life right now. No one feels safe bringing their kids here, obviously. Only kind of bean I like is refried. It's a terrifying hellscape. You can see it's all but abandoned. It's the kind of thing they use to indoctrinate kids. Diversity, equity, inclusion, fun public schools. Public art? Who's paying for this? All these flags up as a disguise. Freedom of speech does not extend to jam bands. So I can walk my bike, but not my dog. Women, men. Okay, what's this sign? What kind of a third gender is that? Even the bridges aren't allowed to be straight. This must be one of those communist bands where just anyone can play. Song doesn't even have any lyrics. Don't tell me where I am. Best uniform? This is just blatant propaganda. Just disgusting. I mean, look at this architecture. Ugh. The home of fake news. Incredibly anti-American. I mean, what is this flag? 9 stories tall? Godless.
Now, what did we learn? Actually, Chicago, super safe. Nothing bad ever happens there. Incredibly pro-American. And actually, much like the Jews in the concentration camps, you can go and hear orchestral music whenever you want. So, take that, conservatives. In other world history, we just covered Nazi Germany. Now let's move on to Japan. Great nation. I am, in fact, a fan of Japan. But did you know, for most of Japan's history, they were extremely isolationist, did not like the West and what they were bringing to the nation, were essentially forced into having to deal with these annoying Westerners. But they did have several hundred years where they said, no, we don't like you guys. We like what we got here. We don't need you. And, you know, they made some pretty cool art. I'm definitely a fan. That's right. Some people would say that means I'm a weeb. Come on, that's cool. It's cool. It's cool stuff. In unrelated news, Australian man goes to Japan and absolutely 100% disrespects the culture and every single person in the country in the span of 20 seconds. Totally unrelated news.
Guys, did you know in Japan they have women-only carriages? It's like Saudi Arabia in here. I am the women inspector, checking there's only women on this carriage. Yep. There's only women here. Cool, no men. I don't see a single man in sight. Yep, check complete. It really is a women-only carriage, guys. Wow. Guys, did you know?
God only knows why the Japanese did not want this type of person in their glorious country. Completely unrelated news. So they did recently reopen the border, pretty sure. and laxed COVID restrictions. Pretty sure that's why this is happening. Moving on. You be the judge. Is this clip making fun of wokeness? Or is it wokeness itself? Who is the butt of the joke? There's a lot of questions. We'll get into it in a second. Here we go. I would say enjoy, but I'm not sure that that's going to be possible.
Before we begin this evening's performance, we would like to acknowledge that this theater stands on territory of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Huron-Wendat, and the Petun First Nations. We are also mindful of broken covenants and the need to make right with all our relations. And now, please enjoy the show.
Sorry, hello? Sorry, excuse me, should we go?
Excuse me?
Oh, no, I just mean if we're on someone else's land, shouldn't we leave?
Oh, no. The theater is here now. We'd just like to acknowledge whose land it is.
I'm sorry, I'm so confused. So if we're on someone else's land, shouldn't we do something about that, or?
Hopefully we'll enjoy the performance.
Oh, okay, so some of the money from the ticket sales of the show are going to the indigenous communities?
Well, no.
Oh, a portion of them?
No, the ticket sales go to the theater.
So is the money from the bottled water sold here going to the First Nations for clean drinking water, or?
Oh, no, that money goes to Nestle.
Nestle.
They're a sponsor.
I'm so sorry, I'm so confused. So whose land are we on? What are we doing?
It's a dialogue.
How are we making right?
Well, there's a plaque you can read in the lobby.
I don't understand.
I'm getting a message from the stage manager that we need to begin the show, so please take your seats.
But
have a good time.
But,
good night.
Guess I'll sit down. Enjoy the show. Just enjoy the show.
Now, there is a lot of questions to be asked about this, and in the half of a minute research that I did while scrolling through the comments, I learned that this is something from Canada. And quite frankly, just from watching the clip, and then on top of that, learning it was from Canada, I did not feel the need to do any more research to actually find what this show is or what the hell is going on here. But what is the joke exactly? Is it anti-woke? Are they making fun of the woman who was saying they're on stolen land? And was the woman in the crowd mocking the woman on the stage? Or was this the kind of woke comedy that we usually see where you have someone who is more woke than they're out-woking each other? Where the woman in the audience, see, she gets it because she wants to take action. The woman on stage, she's fake. She's a faker. You're faker daker. You're a fake woke. Of course, the irony being that the only reason that the woman on the stage is doing this is because this is what you people wanted 5 seconds ago, and now you've moved on to something that's more woke. Who really knows? The bottom line is, it's supposed to be funny. And if I just had to explain all of this to even figure out where the joke was, it's not funny, I think is really the takeaway from this. And that brings us to in unrelated news, comedy.
Is the most offensive joke that you've ever written?
If only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes from dying needlessly of AIDS.
Now that's a joke. You don't need any explanation. We all get it. It's hilarious. Oh, classic. Moving on. Next story. I promise, we're getting towards the end, you guys. We're getting there. We're going to get through it. Recently, a video went viral of a woman explaining what is wrong with modern women in the first world. And I got to say, I pretty much agree with all of this. There's been this slew of videos going viral of women talking about how I'm super happy because I don't have kids, so I was able to go to Taylor Swift. And you just say, well, that's reason I would kill myself if I did that. So I can only imagine how you feel. But here's a woman, I think, explaining what the problem is here and doing it quite accurately. And just before we get into watching this video, she's decent looking, so you pretty much could have already guessed what her politics were or her cultural stances are. It's amazing how often that goes hand in hand. It really is remarkable. It's almost like there's a correlation. But, you know, I'm not the expert. She is.
The rise of online dating and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. Every poor choice is glamorized. So if you want to be a sex worker, it's great. If you want to post some bikini pictures online, it's fine. If you want to be in with it, every poor choice is glamorized, and every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself. So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. And so what will happen is they are trained to not reflect on themselves because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project. And so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I. And unfortunately,
makes complete sense. In fact, I would say it would be extremely difficult to even argue with that. But unshockingly, people have argued. In unrelated news, a video goes viral of a woman explaining what she does between 5 and 6 p.m. on a daily basis, and what she does may shock you. And I guess I can't play this music because it's copyrighted and it's annoying as all hell anyway, but we will play the video. In unrelated news, this is what I did from 5 to 6 p.m. Cook dinner, yawn a lot, take 27 calming breaths, negotiate with a toddler, console said toddler, proceed to cook with one hand, ruin dinner. Man, what a rough life. Consider running away. Laugh instead of cry. Then her husband is sitting on the couch. So she's doing the obviously smart thing, which is making it all about you and making a TikTok about it and probably being passive aggressive constantly. Again, totally unrelated to what the actually halfway decent looking woman before her was saying. Completely unrelated. Absolutely insufferable. In further unrelated news to what the first woman was saying, this is your brain on feminism.
Well, why do we have the expression that's a man's job?
Because certain things are a man's job. Because it's like, why gotta take the trash out if there's a man in the house?
Right. So I'm just saying.
Or lift heavy things.
Well, right, but it says.
When I'm talking about equal rights, I want equal pay. I want equality. I'm not trying to get. I want to walk the streets and feel safe. That's what I want to do.
But I'm saying. But I'm saying, is it fair to say if you want equal privileges, you need equal responsibilities?
No, I want. Why is responsibilities with equality?
Because you gotta
trying to get equal pay.
Because you gotta take the bad with the good.
Why can't I just have equal pay?
Don't you have to take the bad with the good?
No, you do not. We just have equality. Period. You see what I mean? You know what I mean?
So you want equality only when it benefits you?
No, I want equality. Period. Because why do we have equality? It should be benefiting women because at the end of the day, men have more privilege than women do.
Well, why do we?
The absolute state of the West. Damn. All right, you guys. I hope you have enjoyed Unrelated News. I guess this is what we're calling this segment. The Unrelated News. And I hope you learned something about how none of these things are, in fact, related. Now, before we call it a night, we are moving on to... I finally came up with a name for this. For the turnaround at the end of the show where we watch some stuff that maybe isn't absolutely depressing and maybe even is kind of funny. The weekend pregame, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. End of each Friday show, the weekend pregame. Something to get you hyped, something to get you ready, maybe make you laugh. You know, weekend's coming up. One of my favorite things in the world, and we've been talking about this a lot recently, is climate activists getting what they deserve. And if that doesn't belong in the weekend pregame, I don't know what does. Because nothing gets me hyped like seeing climate activists just get their shit rocked. Maybe that makes me a bad man. I don't think so. So what we have here to get ready for the weekend, climate activists in Germany block a road, and then, in the clickbaitiest way, this happened. Now, there's a different discussion about the fact that this guy seems to be not German. But I won't let that ruin it. This is in the weekend pregame. You can't not be happy when you see something like this. I mean, come on. I think he didn't go far enough, honestly. But he's doing better than what most people are doing. So I can respect it. Now, for the thing that may result in more mass unsubscribing from the channel. Oh, crap. Maybe it's the graphics moving all over the place. Who knows? My two favorite things combined into one. My love for Dixieland and my obsession with Japan. This was made just for me. Listen, if you don't like this, you've never truly been a fan of my channel. All right, guys. I hope you had a good time. It's been a fun Friday. I think that's all I got lined up. I thought I had one more. Weekend pregame, but I guess I don't. Oh no, I do. I do have one more. All right. Don't worry. Don't worry, PRD. I'll turn off the Japanese Dixieland, which I can't understand why someone wouldn't like that. All right. I'm going to let none other than Dale Gribble play us off for this weekend pregame. So make sure you like the stream if you have not. As always, check out the merch. What other stuff? Be subscribed. I'm going to start doing videos again. I took quite a lot of time off from doing it. It's other things were going on, and this, watching horrible things all the time just seemed like not a good way to spend my time while I was doing it. But coming this week, videos will start going back up again. So yeah. Dale Gribble, the floor is yours. My name is Swamp Johnson, and I will see you guys next time.
What the hell are you doing? Give it.
Pocket sand. What a thrill. But darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, on a tree frog, it's ordeal, the trial to survive.